Hello and welcome back everyone, we Weeb online, and today I'm gonna start a new series, What If Naruto and Sasuke Took Over the Elemental Nation Part 1. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and to watch more videos like this, subscribe to my channel and turn that bell notification on so you never miss an upload. Now wasting no more time, let's begin.
Sensei? Uchiha Sasuke, who was 8 years old, stood with his arms crossed and his eyes cold as he watched Akamichi Choji and Nara Shikamaru, who were the same age as him, stand next to each other in front of their teacher, Amino Iruka, behind the Ninja Academy. There was a traditional fight between two shinobi going on. Iruka asked Choji, who looked a little shy, "What? I really don't want to beat up my friend," Iruka said with a smile. "No, that's not what we're doing. This is a traditional shinobi spar. This is how even the Hokage and his friends train to get stronger." Shikamaru didn't seem to listen, however. He just turned his back and walked away. He told his teacher, "Sensei, I'm fine with losing by ring out," which made Choji smile. "Ask the next couple." Iruka sighed and pointed at Shikamaru, telling him to come back. "Fine." Shikamaru, Choji, the symbol of harmony. Next. As Choji and Shikamaru hooked their middle and index fingers together, Iruka looked at the clipboard in his hands to choose the next pair. Next is Uzumaki Naruto. And Uchiha Sasuke. You're up. When Sasuke walked into the circle drawn on the ground, the girls in his class cheered. When they did that, Sasuke hated it. He thought that if he didn't talk to them, they would stop, but they seemed to like the fact that he was a loner. Again, he didn't pay attention to them. Instead, he looked at the kid who had come into the ring with him. The boy had spiky blonde hair, bright blue eyes, and 3 strange marks on each cheek that looked like whiskers. Sasuke could see that he shouldn't let up when it came to this boy. He looked very rebellious, and his already bruised knuckles, faded bruise on his cheek, and butterfly bandage over the cut above his left eyebrow told him that this kid was a fighter. "Let's do this," Naruto, the other boy, said with a smile that said, "I don't care, and I'm sure of myself." Iruka barked at Naruto and put his hand in a half-ram seal. "Before the spar, you have to make the symbol of combat. It's the right thing to do." Naruto said, "I don't give a crap," in a rude and very loud way. "Just start fighting, alright?" "So stupid," Sasuke muttered. "Okay, I'll beat you in one." Iruka told the two of them to stop. "Hey, these shinobi spars have been going on for generations. I know there's a lot of rules, but they're important, and here at the academy, we're teaching you the basics. First, you always face your opponent and point your fingers like this. This is the sign of battle. It's half of a seal that might be used to activate a ninjutsu technique, and it means, I've come to fight you. Are you listening, Naruto? I've already told you this twice." Yeah, just say, yes, once, you spoiled brat." Naruto laughed, but then he smirked, looked into Sasuke's eyes, and made the sign for fighting while the Uchiha did the same. Iruka shouted, "Start," and the two kids ran at each other. Sasuke was right to think that Naruto could fight when he said that. He was used to being strong, so when Naruto seemed to predict and counter every attack and counterattack as well as Sasuke himself, the Uchiha was surprised. The two students fought back and forth, and Sasuke noticed out of the corner of his eye that the other students were staring in shock. None of them seemed to have thought Naruto would be this good. When a hard punch hit Sasuke in the stomach, he grunted. And when he hunched over and clenched his teeth, his mind went back to that night, when he had charged at Itachi in a grief-fueled rage and gotten a similar punch to the stomach from Itachi. Sasuke fell backwards and glared at Naruto. The blonde changed in front of his eyes. Instead of the arrogant blonde, Uchiha Itachi, the person he hated the most, stood there. Sasuke felt that familiar anger rise up in him, and he charged at his brother with a renewed sense of purpose. He was so fast that he caught his brother by surprise. He hit him hard with his fists, and then he was able to knock him down. He then jumped on him and straddled him. With his eyes wide and his fist raised, Sasuke was ready to beat Itachi's head into mush. Then he heard the girls in his class cheering, and Iruka shouting, "Sasuke wins." That brought him back to the present. He saw the corner of Itachi's mouth turn up in a smirk. "Ho! I've seen eyes like that before," he said. When he said it, Sasuke heard Naruto's voice, and Itachi slowly changed back into Naruto, whose smile faded and was replaced by a curious look. "But for once, it's not about me. Who are you looking at?" Sasuke felt a twitch in his body. Iruka said, "Now, both of you make the symbol of harmony, and we'll move on." He hesitated, then slowly got off Naruto. Naruto got to his feet and rubbed the bruise on his cheek that had come back after Sasuke hit him pretty hard. He made the sign for fighting with his hand and then held it out to Sasuke while looking at him with a calculating look. Sasuke grunted and did the same thing, hooking his fingers with Naruto's. They let go right away, and Sasuke snarled and turned away. Later, they found Sasuke sitting on the Hokage monument on Yondaimi's head. He had never been up there before, but Iruka, who saw the look in Sasuke's eyes, told him it was a great place to sit and think. He said that he got the idea from someone else in the class. When the teacher was asked who, she just shrugged and walked away. Sasuke had to agree that from up there, he could see a lot. He felt so he acted like his problems were small, like a single drop in a huge ocean. "Oi," said a grumpy voice from behind Sasuke, stopping him in the middle of what he was thinking. Sasuke looked over his shoulder and saw Naruto, that kid from the academy, standing there with his hands in the pockets of his beige cargo shorts. He hadn't changed shirts, so there was still blood on his white t-shirt. Surprisingly, though, his cut lip had already healed, and the bruise on his cheek was almost gone. Naruto pointed to where Sasuke was sitting on the stone. "You took my place. Don't see your name on it, loser," Sasuke shot back, staring at Naruto, whose face scrunched up in anger. "Do you want me to throw you out, you little shit? I'm as tall as you," Sasuke barked. Then he laughed and turned to take another look at the village. "What do you want to do here?" Naruto said to Sasuke as he walked up to him and sat down next to him, "I always come here. People in this village treat me like crap, so I come up here and look over the whole place, and I don't know, I feel something." "What?" Sasuke asked with a raised eyebrow. Naruto said with a shrug, "There's a huge need to protect this place. I'm going to be a great ninja and carry on the work of the old man." "Old man?" "The Hokage Gigi. One day, I'm going to replace him as Hokage, and then everyone in the village will know who I am." Sasuke laughed out loud. What a silly wish. Naruto grabbed Sasuke by the collar and pulled him close. He looked into Sasuke's eyes with a level of intensity that Sasuke had never seen before. Naruto's eyes were full of a bright fire that scared Sasuke so much that he couldn't say a word. This child was completely sure that his dream would come true. Naruto yelled in anger, "Say that again." Sasuke grunted, "Jarif," and slapped Naruto's hands off his collar. He put it back on its feet and lowered his head so that the high uchiha collar covered half of his face. He looked out over the village in the dark. "I said it was a silly dream, but saying it won't make it come true. All dreams start with words. They're the building blocks you can use to make your dreams come true," Naruto insisted. "If we don't have dreams, we'll stay in the same place and our lives won't matter." When he heard that, Sasuke blinked and slowly turned to look at Naruto, who looked important. "Stagnation? Not important?" he asked with interest. "What's up with that?" Naruto shrugged and said, "I don't know. But Gigi told me that when I told him about my dream, and if the Hokage says it, it must be important." "Ho, indeed, Naruto-kun." Naruto and Sasuke both jumped back in surprise, and when they turned around, they saw the elderly Sandaime Hokage smiling at them from behind. Naruto jumped to his feet and yelled, "Ah, Gigi," as he pointed an accusing finger at Sasuke. "This jerk told me that my dream is stupid." Sasuke sulked and turned his head away. "Don't be too hard on Sasuke-kun," the Sandaime said kindly as he walked up to Sasuke, got down on his knees behind him, and put a hand on his shoulder. "Sasuke's life has been hard lately, so it's understandable that he's skeptical, but it's amazing that you two found each other up here." Naruto blinked twice and tilted his head to the side. "Gigi, what are you talking about?" The Sandaime said, "You both have a darkness in your lives that no one could ever understand." This made Sasuke's eyes widen, and he turned his head in shock to look at Naruto. "This kid had a hard time of it. I think that out of everyone in this village, you two are probably the ones who can understand and help each other the most." Sasuke looked at Naruto with doubt, and Naruto gave him the same look. At the same time that Naruto said, "That spoiled prince," Sasuke said, "That troublemaker." The Sandaime just laughed as he patted both boys on the head and said, "Iruka told me that you two, the strongest in the class, sparred today. If you were that active during your spar, you should have gotten a sense of each other's reasons for fighting." The Sandaime stood up again and gave them a bright smile. I think Naruto-kun and Sasuke-kun will become great friends if they talk to each other. It's not healthy to keep everything inside. The Sandaime then vanished in a puff of smoke. Naruto looked a little confused for a moment, then shrugged and sat back down next to Sasuke while humming. The blonde mumbled, "What does he mean? Had it rough?" Sasuke's eyes got darker, and he hid his head again behind his collar. "I don't want to discuss it." Naruto shrugged and said, "Fine. I don't want to talk to a punk like you anyway. I just came here to enjoy the view." Sasuke rolled his eyes and kept his eyes on the village. For a while, they just sat there in silence. Sasuke thought about the fight he had with Naruto earlier that day. The Sandaime said that they should be able to understand each other, and Sasuke remembered that Itachi had once said that when two warriors fight, their minds connect and their true feelings show. Slowly, Sasuke turned his head to look at Naruto, who was still looking over the village with a defiant look on his face. "You're determined," Sasuke said out of the blue, making Naruto look at him. "I learned that from our fight. You're always trying to prove yourself, and that's just a way for you to let out all the hate you feel." "Hatred for what? Why should I respond?" "You didn't." Sasuke laughed again and turned away from Naruto. He thought for a moment, then said, "I am from the Uchiha clan. My brother was the strongest of us all. He was my hero. For as long as I can remember, I have always wanted to be like him." Then, about a month ago, Sasuke closed his eyes and took a deep breath as the events flashed before his eyes. He thought about not telling Naruto, but he thought it might be best to tell him. "About a month ago, my brother killed everyone in our family and then ran away from the village." Naruto's eyes blinked in surprise. "Wow, I guess that stinks. What about you?" Sasuke asked, hoping to get the other person to talk about something else. "What's up with me? Have you lost anyone? The Hokage said we would understand each other, so." Naruto shrugged and said, "I don't think he meant it that way. No one in my family has ever died." "Oh," thought Sasuke, and he couldn't help but feel sorry for Naruto because of how lucky he was. "But I've never had a family to start with." "Huh?" Sasuke blinked in surprise. Naruto might not have been so lucky after all. "Yeah, I'm an orphan. I don't know who my parents are. I think they died on the day I was born, when the Kyuubi attacked, or something." "Oh," Sasuke said slowly. "Is that why you hate so much but don't show it?" Naruto shook his head and said, "No, I don't hate the Kyuubi. I really don't dislike anything." "That's a bunch of nonsense," Sasuke said, giving Naruto a suspicious look. "The Hokage said that since we've sparred, we'd be able to understand each other, but I could feel a lot of hate coming from you." Naruto rolled his eyes, crossed his arms, and walked away while saying, "What do you know?" "I know a look of hatred because I see it every time I look in the mirror, so tell me." Naruto kept his defiant look for a few seconds, but as he turned his head to look over the village, he seemed to lose his confidence. "The villagers, I guess," he said in a low voice. "They think I'm blind and deaf, but I can see and hear everything. Most of these people stare at me for no reason and say hurtful things about me behind my back, even though they don't know me. Why would they do that? I mean, I know you like to cause trouble, but that's..." Naruto yelled, "Shut up. I only got into trouble because they said something stupid." That made Sasuke's eyes get bigger. "Then why are they talking quietly?" Naruto shrugged and said, "I don't know. They've been doing it for as long as I can remember. When I ask the old man about it, he acts strange and changes the subject. So you don't know what it's like to lose family, and I don't know what it's like to never have family or be talked about by the villagers," Sasuke said with a furrowed brow. "How, exactly, are we supposed to get along?" "Well, I don't think Gigi meant for us to understand the thingy itself, but the pain it caused." "What is it?" "There's a word for it in the Gigi language, but I can't say it." "You should get better at that. Give me a break, will you? No one ever taught me, right?" As Sasuke looked over the village again, he laughed and gave a small grin. "You're pretty useless, aren't you? Shut up. I'll knock you down from here." The next day, when Sasuke went to school, he couldn't help but feel happy. Yes, he was probably happy. He had talked with Naruto a lot the night before. The Sandaime was right, they had found. Even though their lives were very different, they were able to connect because the pain they felt was very similar, even though their lives were very different. Also, Sasuke was very proud of himself for spending most of the night studying a dictionary so he could use big words to confuse Naruto the next day. Sasuke looked around the classroom and saw two fangirls sitting on either side of the seat he had taken the day before. They were waiting for him to go there, and Sasuke didn't want to, so he looked everywhere for another place to sit. He found it, and as luck would have it, the seat next to it was occupied by Naruto, who was sleeping with his head on his arms. "Yo," Sasuke said as he walked up to Naruto and sat down next to him. He opened one eye and looked at Naruto. He replied, "Yo," and yawned. "You seem worn out." "I was up late last night," Sasuke said, smirking. He didn't have to say why he was up. He would be happy to use what he had worked for. Naruto nodded to show that he agreed. "I'm very tired because I spent most of last night reading a dictionary, which was both exciting and refreshing and also very annoying." Sasuke had a twitch. He squinted and turned away when he realized he didn't know what that last word meant. "I also looked up words in a dictionary, but I never got that far." "Yeah, I think those were the only words I took the time to really learn," Naruto said with a tired sigh. "It's way too much trouble to use big words." "HN. Okay, calm down," Iruka said as the Chunin teacher walked into the classroom. As usual, this didn't make any difference at all to the class, who just kept talking. Iruka twitched once, took a deep breath, and yelled, "Shut the hell up." As usual, this got their attention, and then class began. Naruto and Sasuke didn't go to their homes when school was over for the day. Instead, they went to the library, and Sasuke couldn't help but notice how the librarian looked at Naruto. Before she saw Sasuke with him, she looked like she was about to kick him out. He didn't say this, though, because Naruto was happy to have finally made a friend. Well, Sasuke hadn't said that they were friends, but he did see Naruto as one, even though he didn't want to admit it. He really didn't know why. They just seemed to get along. So, they were now reading scroll after scroll to learn as much as they could about ninja and chakra. Naruto wanted to spend the day eating at Ichiraku Ramen, but Sasuke talked him into going to the library instead. He couldn't get strong enough to become Hokage and have everyone respect him if he spent all day at the ramen stand. Sensor ninja, medic ninja, offensive ninja, defensive ninja, genjutsu specialist, ninjutsu specialist, taijutsu specialist, Naruto muttered as he looked through his 13th scroll that day. "There are so many options, how do you know which one is right for you?" "I think I'll be an offensive type," Sasuke said as he hummed. "Yes, definitely. I'll also specialize in all three, ninjutsu, taijutsu, and genjutsu." Naruto cocked his head to the side and said, "Huh? You don't seem like the genjutsu type." "Well, not right now, but it'll be easy when I get my Sharingan." Naruto spent a long time looking at Sasuke. "Sharingan? I'll tell you later." Naruto looked back down at the scroll, furrowed his brow, and picked up another one. He clicked his tongue and muttered, "I think I'd make a good censor. I'll probably be both offensive and defensive, specializing in ninjutsu and taijutsu." Sasuke said with a slow nod, "It would be good to have a censor on the team." "Is that you?" "Well, we're going to be on the same team, aren't we? You're probably the only person at the academy I can stand. Hopefully, that Hyuga girl will end up with us too, since she's probably the only girl who doesn't follow me around like a lost puppy. I didn't know we could choose who we play with." "No, but we can make things happen so that we do." Naruto's eyes slowly blinked. He then said, "Explain." "From what I can tell, they pair the highest scoring boy and girl with the lowest scoring boy. This means that I will be Rookie of the Year, as expected, and you will get barely passing grades and be dead last. This way, we'll end up on the same team, even though you're just below me in power." "You sound sure of your own strength." Sasuke's only explanation was, "I'm a Uchiha, so I have a right to be," which made Naruto laugh. Then Naruto started laughing out loud, and Sasuke was shocked to find himself laughing along with Naruto. "Naruto!" Sasuke yelled in a loud voice that wasn't like him. Sasuke had always been different around his friend. Dare he say best friend? He was more than he thought you could call it happier. 6 months had passed since they met, and Sasuke had found a new reason to live. He thought that when his clan was killed, everyone he cared about was gone. Only Itachi and his desire to kill him were in front of him. Now, though he had realized that even though the Uchiha clan would always be very important to him and he would always miss them, he could find new people who were important to him. Even though he had only found one precious person, he didn't care. His clan could also come back to life. Now, if Sasuke wanted to make the clan great again, he had to take on this responsibility. So, He couldn't just focus on getting stronger so that he could kill Itachi. Even if he had failed, the Uchiha clan would never come back to Konoha again. Sasuke stopped suddenly when he got to the clearing where he and Naruto were allowed to train in Training Area 3. He saw Naruto sitting in the middle, smiling broadly as he looked around. What made him smile? Because trees had grown out of the ground around him, and Sasuke was sure they hadn't been there before. How? Hey, Sasuke. Naruto said as he stood up and ran toward Sasuke. I can make trees, isn't that cool? How did you do that? Wood isn't an element. Sasuke asked, his eyes still wide with shock. Their senses had become so sharp that when the Sandaime showed up in the clearing, they weren't surprised. As soon as his shoe hit the ground, they heard him. I'd like to know that, too, Naruto-kun, said the Sandaime, looking at Naruto with interest. Well, I was just sitting there and meditating when all of a sudden I started shaping chakra, but it felt different, like my chakra was split in two. So I tried to put it back together, and poof, Naruto said, pointing to the trees around them. The Sandaime asked Naruto, Naruto-kun, did you know that the wood release is a bloodline limit? This made both Naruto and Sasuke look at him with wide eyes. Naruto said, whoa, and turned to Sasuke with a smile on his face. Sasuke, did you hear that? I also have a bloodline. Yes, Naruto-kun, you do. Has anyone else heard of the wood release? I think my father told me about it once, Sasuke said, scratching his head. No, not other than that. Nope. The Sandaime said, the wood release was the special bloodline ability of the Shodai Hokage, boys. It didn't take Naruto or Sasuke more than a second to understand what he meant. Holy mother hubbering crap. Naruto yelled, eloquently saying what both boys were thinking. I'm related to the Shodai Hokage. The Sandaime nodded and said, and then the Naidem, Naruto-kun. I don't know how. I didn't think either of your parents was related to them. The Naidem never had children, and the last known descendant of the Shodai is. The Sandaime's eyes widened. No, that can't be. Naruto blinked and looked at Sasuke, who gave him a shrug. Both of them knew that the other had no idea what the Sandaime was talking about, even though they didn't have to say anything. The old Hokage smiled at them, which showed that he knew this. Senju Tsunade's son was the last known descendant of the Shodai Hokage. She had to give him up for adoption, against the wishes of the village, because she didn't think she could be trusted to raise a child. I think that fate stepped in, and the child stayed in the village despite everything. The Sandaime's face slowly started to grin. Naruto-kun, I think you deserve to know the truth about your parents now, he said, making both Naruto and Sasuke's eyes widen. Naruto had told Sasuke that the Sandaime had often said it was too dangerous for the blonde to know. Why don't we talk in a less public place? Naruto asked with hope, can Sasuke come? Because you already know, I'll tell him. The Sandaime looked at Sasuke, and for a moment, Sasuke thought the old man didn't trust him. But those thoughts were wrong, as the Sandaime smiled in less than a half second. Of course, good friends shouldn't have to keep secrets from each other. Secrets tear them apart in a way that's almost impossible to fix. So, Sasuke-kun, would you like to come along? Yes, Hokage-sama, Sasuke said eagerly, nodding. He wanted to know if Naruto was related to the Shodai Hokage. The Sandaime reached out and put a hand on each of their shoulders. Then, in a blur, all three of them vanished. They showed up again inside the Hokage's house, more specifically in the office of the Sandaime. The scrolls on the walls showed that all the Sandaime did in this office was work on ninjutsu of all kinds. The Sandaime told them to sit down and pointed to 4 cushions on the floor. He sat down on one of them with the usual grunt of an old person, and Naruto and Sasuke also sat down to watch him closely. The Sandaime no longer had a soft, grandfatherly look. Instead, it had a serious, stern look. Now, Naruto-kun, I want you to remember that this is very sensitive information and that your parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, and even great-great-grandparents had enemies who would kill you just out of spite. Because of this, I want you and Sasuke to keep this information to yourselves until I think you are strong enough to protect yourselves. Is that clear? Naruto said, yes, Gigi, and Sasuke nodded his head to agree. Very well. Your mother, Naruto-kun, was Uzumaki Kushina. She was a member of the great Uzumaki clan of Uzushiogakure no Sato, a now destroyed village on an island to the east of Fire Country. This clan was known for their skill with sealing techniques and their long lives. She was an incredibly strong and fiery woman. The Sandaime paused for a moment and then gave a small laugh. When she was young, kids made fun of her round face and red hair at the Ninja Academy. They started calling her Tomato. Naruto laughed out loud, and Sasuke had to hold back a grin because he knew that was the kind of name Naruto would have given to someone like that. The Sandaime hummed and put his hand on his chin and thoughtfully rubbed it. Of course, that all changed when she started beating up people who made fun of her. The kids started calling her the red hot-blooded habanero because of this. Naruto tensed up, and Sasuke, who knew Naruto well, knew that he had suddenly decided to stop calling people names unless they really deserved it. "Well, what about my dad?" Naruto asked, shaking off the horrible thought of getting hit by an angry redhead. Was he some kind of awesome ninja or something? "Oh, he was really cool, for sure." The Sandaime nodded. Your father is the main reason why your true heritage was kept from you. During the last great shinobi war, he made a big enemy out of Iwa. Iwa was the man who would one day become the Yondaime Hokage of Konoha, Namikaze Minato. The muscles in Sasuke's jaw relaxed, and his jaw dropped in shock. He looked to his right and saw that Naruto was also shocked and staring at the Sandaime. My grandfather was... Yes, Naruto-kun, your father was the Yondaime Hokage, who I now think may have been adopted. I think he may have been Tsunade's real son. I haven't told you or anyone else about this because, Naruto-kun, I'm sorry to say it, but you're a loudmouth. Sasuke couldn't help but laugh when he saw Naruto twitch in anger when he heard that. Naruto-kun, if I had told you, you would have told everyone who would listen every chance you got. Iwa would have found out, and they might have tried to kidnap you. Naruto crossed his arms and said, "TCH, I suppose. However, I didn't want to keep it from you any longer. Now, you're going to need training. There is a man in Konoha who is very good at Mokuton ninjutsu, and no, Naruto-kun, he is not a senju," the Sandaime said when he saw Naruto's face light up. "A criminal from this village experimented on him when he was young and put Shodaijin Samas in him. He is currently serving in the Anbu forces, but I'm going to call him back to be your Mokuton ninjutsu teacher." Naruto gave a big grin at that. He shouted, "Thanks a lot, Gigi," and then turned to Sasuke. "Let's both get really strong, okay?" "Hey," Sasuke laughed and scoffed. "You fool, as if I'd let you get stronger than me." The Sandaime looked at the two kids for a long time. Then, with a bright smile and a soft laugh, he closed his eyes. Naruto's face twitched, and a look of disgust came over it. "Hey, Gigi. Why are you grinning like that? Are you a child molester?" It was time for the Sandaime to move. "Naruto. Today is it, huh? HN." Naruto and Sasuke were on their way to the Ninja Academy. Since the day they found out Naruto's family history, 4.5 years ago, everything had been going according to plan. Every day, Naruto and Sasuke would study, train, or do both. But because of how the teams were put together, Naruto stuck to the plan and pretended to be a nobody in class, getting grades that were just barely good enough to pass. It had been hard to do worse than Shikamaru in school, though. He was smart but too lazy to pick up a pen. So, he should have had the worst grades, but since they were the same as Naruto's, the blonde had to do something drastic and add poor attendance to the list. This put him at the very bottom of the list. Naruto wore black sandals, black ninja pants with a shuriken holster and a kunai holster strapped to his right leg, and a loose, long-sleeved black ninja shirt with the sleeves rolled up to just below his elbows, showing the sleeves of the mesh shirt he wore underneath. Under the shirt, which had a fur collar like the one worn by the wise Naidem Hokage, Naruto wore plate armor over the mesh. He also had 2 kunai pouches on his back and wore a black bracelet that was 3 inches wide on each wrist. Sasuke wore black sandals, black ninja pants with 2 shuriken holsters on the right leg, a black muscle shirt over a mesh shirt, and plate armor, which was hidden by a black long-sleeved shirt with the Uchiha clan's signature high collar and crest on the back. He only had 1 kunai pouch, which was on the left side of his back. On the right side of his back, a black shakuto was tucked into his red obi. He wore the same bracelets on both wrists. Naruto asked Sasuke, "Won't my great score on the next test change my overall grade?" Sasuke shook his head no. The Uchiha said, "No, the test is just to show that you can do what they want you to do." His voice was warmer than it used to be, but he only used it when talking to Naruto or someone he respected, like the Sandaime Hokage or Naruto's teacher, who went by the codename Yamato. Naruto said, "Hey, then it'll be good to show these jerks how good I really am." He did this by punching his open palm with his closed fist. Most people at the academy knew how strong he really was, though. Since Naruto could easily keep up with Sasuke, his fans had figured out that he was just acting in class and spread the word. Sasuke looked at Naruto and blinked once. This time, who is it? Naruto crossed his arms and said, I'm not making chakra right now, so I don't have a clue. So make some. Naruto's left eyebrow slowly went up, and he turned his head to look at Sasuke, who sighed. Can you make some? Naruto nodded and closed his eyes, which turned on his skillful chakra sensing. He found the 5 people who were following them and used their chakra signatures to figure out who they were. There are the usual fangirls on our 6, and Hinata is on the roof at 4 o'clock. Sasuke said, Hinata? We haven't seen her following us around in about a week. People knew that Hinata was probably the only girl at the academy who wasn't a fangirl. She wasn't a friend, though. She did not like Sasuke, though. Instead, she was more interested in Naruto. She told Kiba, who told Shikamaru, who told Ino, who told Sasuke that she liked Naruto because he was determined and wouldn't give up, even though most people in the village didn't like him. She thought he was a great person, but she was too shy to talk to him. Still bad at the bunshin, though, Naruto said, bringing up the exam again. Don't know how I'll pull that off. You're a long way behind, Sasuke said with confidence. Don't worry, you'll pass with flying colors. The Hokage said that the bunshin is the most basic clone, and that's the minimum requirement for graduating. Sasuke didn't have to say anything else because Naruto already knew what was going on. Ah, so any clone will do. I'll avoid the Moku bunshin, wood clone, and just go with the Kage bunshin, shadow clone. I don't want to show off my special skills too soon. So, there they were, standing in front of the Ninja Academy. Or, more accurately, they were outside. At this point in the exam, they were doing the physical part. Needless to say, Naruto shocked the hell out of Iruka when he aced the kunai and shuriken throwing, beat everyone in the stamina test, and fought Sasuke to a standstill in a spar. Even though genjutsu wasn't his specialty, Naruto was good at it. Even though he wasn't very good at genjutsu compared to his ninjutsu and taijutsu, he could still do above average genjutsu that not just anyone could do, and he could easily find them and stop them. The ninjutsu part came next. Naruto was almost let down by the fact that he only had to do a henge, a bunshin, and a kawarimi to pass. Iruka said, looking very pleased with Naruto's performance, okay, Naruto. Just make 2 fully functional bunshin, and you'll pass. Naruto nodded and made a cross with his hands. He made 2 Kage bunshin without saying the words, which made the Chunin teacher's eyes widen in surprise. Those are Kage bunshin. Naruto shrugged and said, the Jiji says that my chakra stores are too big for me to make a normal bunshin. Iruka picked up one of the Hitai 8 on the table in front of him and handed it to Naruto, who shook his head. Well, you passed, Naruto. Congratulations. That's cool, I've got my own, he said, pulling a scroll out of his kunai pouch and opening it. He put his hand on a seal in the scroll, and a gray Happori with the Konoha symbol on the forehead appeared in a puff of smoke and landed in Naruto's hand. Iruka's eyes got bigger when she saw that it was old and scratched up here and there. Is that Naruto? Naruto nodded as he put the scroll back in his kunai pouch and put on the Happori. The Nidime's Happori, he said. Yes, Jiji gave it to me. Goodbye, Sensei. When Naruto walked out of the classroom, Sasuke was already wearing his Hitai 8 and waiting for him outside. They didn't have to say anything. Naruto just smiled and pointed at his Happori with his thumb up. Big surprise there, Sasuke said, looking bored. Do we eat first and then work out, or do we work out first and then eat? Let's go get something to eat first and celebrate our graduation, Naruto said as he and Sasuke left, still smiling. Starting today, you're all real shinobi. Iruka told the graduates the next day with a happy smile and a sense of pride. But you are still Genin. The hard journey that lies ahead has just begun. You will soon get missions to help the village. So today, we will make the 3-man teams, and each of you will have a Junin sensei. You will follow your sensei's instructions to complete your missions. Now, we try to balance the strength of each team, the Chunin said as he looked at the clipboard in his hand. Okay, Team 1, he said. Naruto was sitting next to Sasuke, and he gave his best friend a little push with his elbow. Hey, did you find out which girl got the best score? Hinata and Sakura were probably at the top, Sasuke said quietly as he looked out the window. I couldn't figure out which one, though. I hope it's Hinata. It'd be nice if the girl on the team was swooning over someone other than me. If it's Hinata, we'll have to do something about how shy she is, they said. Agreed. Okay. Next is Team 7 Hyuga Hinata Uzumaki Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke. Naruto and Sasuke gave each other a high five and smiled in the same way. Naruto could see out of the corner of his eye that Hinata's face had turned bright red and that her eyes were as big as saucers. Hey, Iruka-sensei, Shikamaru spoke up, sounding bored as usual. Shouldn't the teams be balanced? Why put the 3 best players on the same team? Because, Shikamaru, even though everyone knows Naruto is just as strong as Sasuke, we chose the teams based on grades, and Naruto got the lowest grade. I think the 2 of them knew how the teams would be chosen, after all. Naruto and Sasuke's smiles said everything. Iruka kept reading from his clipboard and said, okay, next up is Team 8, which is made up of Haruno Sakura, Inuzuka Kiba, and Aburame Shino. Team 9 is the same as last year, and Yamanaka Ino, Nara Shikamaru, and Akamichi Choji will be on Team 10, he said, clearing his throat and smiling. Okay, we'll meet your Junin sensei this afternoon. Take a break until then. Hinata. Naruto shouted, and everyone stood up. When her crush called her name, the Hyuga heiress jumped and turned to face him, her face still bright red. Sasuke and I are going to get lunch. Want to join us? Hinata started poking her fingers together and lowering her head. Naruto and Sasuke looked at each other with their eyebrows raised. Sure, Naruto-kun. So, donuts today? Naruto asked Sasuke as they walked up to Hinata. Sasuke nodded. Is everything alright, Hinata? Hinata muttered, fine, it's but she kept her head down. Naruto looked at Sasuke, who just gave him a shrug. Team 7 went to a nearby dango shop, where Naruto, Sasuke, and Hinata each got 10 sticks and Hinata got 5 sticks. Naruto asked Hinata, as they waited for their food, you didn't pack lunch, did you? Now that I think about it, you've never brought lunch before. Hinata said quietly, no, I go back home to eat lunch. What are you 2 doing? Sasuke likes dango, but he can't make it. The last time I tried to cook, Sasuke and I had to fight to the death over what I made. Hinata laughed at that, especially when she saw the way Sasuke looked when he remembered the monster stew. Damn it, a stew shouldn't be able to grow tentacles. When their order came, Naruto said, so, Hinata, and watched as Hinata jumped at being called by name. Why don't you tell us what your skills are? Sasuke and I know each other well, but we don't know anything about you. Oh. I guess I'm kind of weak, Hinata said shyly as she lowered her head. No, that's not true, Sasuke said in a simple way. If you were weak, you wouldn't have been at the top of the class. How about we go first and introduce ourselves? He asked Naruto, who nodded. Okay, I'm Uchiha Sasuke. I'm good at ninjutsu and genjutsu. I have good chakra control and above average strength. I don't have the best stamina, but it's not terrible, either. My favorite jutsu are Kaiten jutsu. Uzumaki Naruto, said Naruto, raising his hand for no reason. Ninjutsu and taijutsu are my specialties, and I'm also a very good sensor. My chakra control is good, but it could be better, and my strength is amazing. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but I get by. My stamina is monstrous, and my favorite jutsu are Doten, Suiten, and the secret type. Hinata blinked as she looked at Naruto's smile and asked, secret type? Will be shown at a later time, Naruto said with a nod. Now you. I'm Hyuga Hinata. I guess I specialize in taijutsu. My Byakugan makes me a good sensor, I guess. My chakra control is good, like Sasuke-kun's, but I'm not very strong. My stamina isn't that great, either. My favorite jutsus are my clan jutsus. So, only one of us is focused on genjutsu, Sasuke said, crossing his arms and closing his eyes. I know you don't think much of yourself, Hinata, but I need you to think about your skills very carefully. Do you have anything else you could offer? Well, I do make my own medicine, she said. Naruto said with a big smile, okay, that's great. So you'll be our backup and can help Sasuke and me if we get hurt when we charge into battle, right? Sasuke and I, Sasuke said, which made Naruto give him a look. Shut up. You don't know anything. Hinata laughed softly at their antics and even more when Naruto showed her his 4-in-1 technique. He tilted his head back and put a whole dango stick down his throat like a sword swallower, bit down on it, and pulled it out clean while swallowing the dumplings whole. After that, Naruto muttered, and grabbed his stomach. Those always feel too big when I swallow them. It's like they double in size as soon as I take a bite. Sasuke gave a soft chuckle and Hinata laughed. After eating all of the food, the three of them got up and went back to the academy, where they waited. And then, where is Naruto? Sasuke asked after 2 hours. The blonde was at his desk with his eyes shut. Finally, someone is coming. Naruto grumbled. Damn fool for making us wait way to make a good first impression. When the door opened, a man wore the traditional Genin uniform, a mask that covered the bottom half of his face, and a headband that was pulled down over his left eye. His gray hair looked like it didn't want to stay down. He waved hello with a gloved hand. He said, "Hey, boys and girls, I'll be your Genin sensei," then looked around and thought for a moment. This place is kind of stuffy. How about we go up to the roof? After saying that, he left the classroom. Naruto, Sasuke, and Hinata looked at each other strangely, shrugged, and followed him up to the roof, where they sat down in front of the man, who was leaning back against the railing. "Let's start by saying who we are," the man said with his arms crossed. Hinata asked, What do you want to know, sensei?" The Genin shrugged and asked, "How about your likes, dislikes, hopes for the future, and other things like that?" Sasuke said, "Why don't you go first?" "Yeah, you do look very suspicious," Naruto said with his eyes narrowed. "Oh, me? My name is Hokage Kakashi. I don't want to tell you what I like and don't like. I have lots of hobbies and dreams for the future, though." The lame introduction made all three people on Team 7 sweat. Kakashi, on the other hand, didn't seem to care. He just smiled and pointed at Naruto. "Okay, now it's your turn. Start from the right." "Uzumaki Naruto, as everyone knows," Naruto said, saluting Kakashi. "I like training, my few friends, nature, and meditating. I don't like idiots or people who want to start wars. I guess my only hobby is training. My dream is to become Hokage and be better than all my predecessors." Good. Next. "My name is Uchiha Sasuke. I like training, swords, and meditating. I don't like idiots and a certain man. My hobby is training, and my dream, well, I don't really have dreams, but I do have goals. To bring back the Uchiha clan, to kill that certain man, and to become Hokage. But that last one will have to stay a dream," Naruto said with a smile, making Sasuke laugh with a scoff. Kakashi was looking at the two of them with eyes that seemed to have warmth. It's hard to believe that they would become friends, he thought. I think this will help them, and then he looked at Hinata. "Okay, you're last." My name is Hyuga Hinata. I like zenzai and cinnamon rolls," and Hinata stopped and turned bright red. She shook her head and decided not to say that last bit. I don't like people who look down on others. My hobby is pressing flowers. My dream is to become a Hyuga worthy of being the head of the clan and to get rid of the caged bird seal from the branch family." As he looked at his three genin, Kakashi softly hummed. Then he gave a nod. "Okay, that's it for introductions. Tomorrow, we'll start our jobs as shinobi. First, we're going to do something with just the four of us." Hinata asked Kakashi-sensei in a soft voice, What is it?" "Survival training," Kakashi said seriously. Sasuke asked again, "Survival training? That's something we did enough of in school." Kakashi said, "This isn't a normal training. This time, I'm your opponent," and everyone's eyes grew wide. He gave a soft chuckle. Naruto asked with a slight glare, "What's so funny?" He was still a little annoyed that they didn't find out anything about the man. "Oh, well, you guys are going to freak out when I tell you this. Just spit it out, damn it, don't keep us in suspense. Only 9 of the 27 graduates will be chosen to become genin. The others will be sent back to the academy. This training is a very hard test, and more than 66% fail." When they heard that, everyone's eyes got even bigger, and Kakashi just laughed and pointed at them. "I knew you'd go crazy," Naruto snarled, "then what the hell was graduation for?" Kakashi said, "Oh, that was just to find out who could become genin. It takes more than a couple of jutsu to become one, after all. Anyway, tomorrow you have to show your real skills on the training ground. Bring all the shinobi tools you have. Oh, and don't eat breakfast or you might throw up." Kakashi took 3 pieces of paper out of his kunai pouch and showed them. "The information is on this sheet of paper. Don't be late tomorrow." The next day, when the 3 genin met in training area 7, Naruto was happy and said, "Good morning, everyone." Nobody looked tired, which was good, and nobody looked hungry, which was even better. Sasuke had already said that it was better to throw up than to fight when you were hungry. I'm guessing our sensei is going to be late again, Sasuke said, his hands in his pockets. Hinata nodded. I detect a pattern emerging, she mumbled softly. Well, better make good use of the time we have, Naruto said as he sat down in the lotus position, his eyes drifting shut. I'll keep a lookout for him, and Sasuke, you come up with some good battle plans. Sasuke nodded and sat down, humming. Alright Hinata, you are proficient in the Juken, gentle fist, right? I'm not as good as my father, or my sister, but I guess. Sasuke was quiet for a moment, his eyes still closed. Then, he spoke up, alright, listen up. I'm sure we're all very strong, but none of us can win against a Junin alone. Therefore, we're going to have to work together if we want to beat him. If it comes down to a fight, which it most likely will, Naruto will be acting as support. And Naruto-kun will? Hinata asked, blinking. But I thought you said I would be support? I did say that, but Naruto has special jutsu in this case perfect for distracting and capturing Kakashi from a distance. While Naruto is distracting him, you and I will come at him in taijutsu. I'll go high, you go low. If you can, target his nuts. Naruto gave an audible snort at that and opened his eyes to see Hinata turning beet red again. Wow. That's kinda cruel, Sasuke, Naruto said in amusement. Are you sure you want to put Kakashi Teme through that? Punishment for being late, Sasuke said simply. I do, of course, have other plans as well. I want you to memorize them perfectly. Now, Plan B. They waited for another 2 hours, before Kakashi finally arrived, and he had the audacity to wave happily at them as if he was right on time. Good morning, everyone. You're late, Teme, Naruto exclaimed angrily. Isn't that unbecoming of a Junin? Ah, so sorry see, a black cat crossed my path, and... Stop lying. You're wasting our time, Sasuke said coldly, his arms crossed, which made Kakashi sweat drop. How serious, he thought with a sigh. He took off his backpack and set it down next to the 3 wooden poles in the clearing, before fishing out an alarm clock and setting it down on the pole. Okay, it's set for noon, he announced, taking 2 bells out of his kunai pouch and holding them out. Here are 2 bells. Your task is to take these from me before the time's up. Those who don't have a bell by noon gets no lunch. I'll not only tie you to one of those stumps, but I'll also eat right in front of you. Kakashi didn't see the hungry, devastated faces he had been expecting to see. Instead, the 2 boys of the group were glaring at him, and the girl was staring shyly at the ground. Kakashi blinked slowly, but then shook his head and continued. You only have to get 1 bell. There are only 2, so one of you will definitely be tied to the stump. And the person who doesn't take a bell fails. So at least one of you will be sent back to the academy, Kakashi said, smirking at the shocked looks on their faces. If you want, you can use your weapons. You won't succeed if you don't come at me with the intent to kill. Any questions? Not getting any questions, Kakashi nodded and took a deep breath, his eye closed. Alright, then begin. With that, all 4 of them dashed off. TCH, Naruto uttered as he hid in a tree, a disgusted look on his face. Pitting his students against not only himself, but each other as well. Yeah, came Sasuke's voice from behind him as his friend landed on the same branch. This guy's something else. And from what the rumor mill says, he's not someone to toy with, either. So, what do you think? I think the same thing you do, Naruto said, as though it was obvious. Neither of us wants to be sent back to the academy, but it'd be a shitty thing for us to do to team up and let Hinata fend for herself. Besides, she's probably the only girl I can stand. So, we can either have one of us go back to the academy, or Hinata, Sasuke muttered, a smirk appearing on his face. That Kakashi Yaro, that kind of guy just pisses me off. So, what do we do? Naruto asked, crossing his arms. I say we figure out a way to get all 3 to pass, Sasuke said, his smirk widening. And how do we do that? We steal everything he has. If Kakashi had seen the duo, he would have become very scared upon seeing the identical smirks on their faces. Meanwhile, Hinata was hiding behind a tree, her eyes closed. She was feeling devastated. Only 2 may pass, and everyone knew that Naruto and Sasuke were the best of friends, so there was little doubt that they would team up to defeat Kakashi, leaving Hinata to herself. Hinata couldn't help but feel so disappointed. She had finally done it. She had finally managed to end up on the same team as Naruto, and now they were going to be separated. It just wasn't fair. Yo. Hinata would have leaped in fright, had a hand not suddenly covered her mouth as she jumped. She looked over her shoulder to see that it was Naruto standing behind her and covering her mouth. Naruto was touching her. Naruto let out a huh when he saw Hinata's eyes get unfocused as her face once more went beet red. Thankfully, though, she managed to keep from passing out, as Naruto let go of her. Anyway, Hinata, Sasuke's already in position for Plan F, Naruto said, jutting his thumb over his shoulder. You better get ready too. Bet, Hinata blinked in confusion. There are only 2 bells Naruto-kun, you should. Now, we're a team now, Naruto said, grinning slightly. Sasuke and I wouldn't feel right leaving you behind, so we're doing this as a team. Besides, we'll be stealing more than just the bells from that Kakashi Yaro. We'll be stealing enough to pass 18 Genin. Naruto winked at Hinata, then jumped off to get in position. In the meantime, Kakashi was standing in a clearing near the river running through Training Area 7, looking around and stretching his senses. His sense of smell could easily detect his students, and he could sense their chakra as well. They've hidden themselves well. The most important thing for a shinobi is to be able to hide themselves, after all. They could probably hide from a chunin at this level. Wait. Kakashi blinked as he focused on Sasuke's chakra signature. Then, his eyes widened when he felt that it was really Naruto's. Had he made a copy of Sasuke and changed his chakra so that it felt like Sasuke's? Kakashi only heard the soft thump of a sandal hitting the ground before he had to duck under a swing from Sasuke's Chikudo. The Uchiha kept spinning and aimed a kick at Kakashi's head, making the Junin jump away. When he heard more footsteps behind him, Kakashi jumped again to avoid Hinata's Jukin attack. All 3 had joined forces so quickly. He really hadn't thought that would happen. Both Genin came at Kakashi, but he kept dodging them. Sasuke swung his Chikudo high, and Hinata used her Jukin to hit him in the stomach. This made him lean back and twist quickly to avoid getting hit. Since they only did taijutsu and kenjutsu, he thought it would be unfair to use ninjutsu at this point. After all, part of the point was to see how good they were. Now, Naruto, Sasuke suddenly said, and Kakashi's eyes grew wide. The only warning he had was a small rumble in the ground. Then, wooden poles shot out of the ground and wrapped around his arms and legs. What? Kakashi asked with a wide eye. He didn't have time to think about it, though, because Hinata came up behind him and slammed her chakra-filled palm into his chest at that moment. But Kakashi disappeared in a puff of smoke, and a log took his place. Kawarimi, Sasuke muttered as he rolled his eyes. He can't be too far away. In fact, he hadn't, because Kakashi appeared behind Naruto, who was hiding behind 2 bushes with a kunai at his throat, in a blur. Kakashi smiled at the blonde boy whose hands were in a snake seal. Oh, Mokuton ninjutsu. Haven't seen that in a while. Well, Naruto, this is it for you. Naruto asked with a smirk, really? His hand was on the ground in an instant, and Kakashi had only a millisecond to react before a wooden spike came out of the ground beneath him, forcing him to jump back into the clearing. Hinata was on him in an instant, giving him no time to breathe. She didn't hit as hard or as fast as some of the Hyuga Kakashi had fought before, but she was still impressive. He had no trouble keeping up though. As he moved back to avoid another blow, Kakashi saw out of the corner of his eye that Sasuke had just finished a series of hand seals. Kaden. Gukakyu no Jutsu, Fire Element, Grand Fireball Technique. Sasuke put his hand to his mouth and let out a huge fireball, which he threw at Kakashi and Hinata. The Junin looked at him with wide eyes. Gukakyu. Impossible. That much chakra shouldn't belong to a Genin, and he's also going for Hinata. It looked like Sasuke was sure that Hinata wouldn't get hurt, and it looked like Hinata was too, since she was very calm. Just as the fire was about to reach them, a dome of wood grew out of the ground and covered Hinata. Kakashi jumped up to get away from the fireball, which hit the wooden dome and blew up. More wooden poles shot up from the ground and wrapped around Kakashi's wrists and ankles. They pulled him down to the ground with force. Kakashi fell hard on his back and groaned as he hit the ground. He hadn't even used half of his strength in this fight, but these kids were already at the level of Chunin. He was pulled out of his thoughts when his 3 Genin walked up to him and looked down at the Junin who was pinned. Then Naruto kneeled next to him and grabbed the bells, throwing them to Sasuke, who gave one to Hinata. That's a lot of selflessness, Naruto, Kakashi said calmly, even though he was in a dangerous situation. Are you sure you want to go back to school? I won't be sent back. Naruto said with a smile as he took Kakashi's kunai pouch from his body, opened it, and started looking through it. Either we all pass or none of us do, so I'm going to see if you have anything worth threatening to get us all to pass. When Kakashi saw Naruto pull out his most valuable book, Uchiha Paradise, his eye got as big as a saucer. Naruto must have seen how Sasuke reacted because his smile got bigger as he wiggled his finger at him. Hey, Sasuke, our new teacher likes to read dirty books. Why don't you set this one on fire? Sasuke said with a cruel grin, that sounds like a great idea, Naruto. Kakashi said, you can't do that. Fine, you all pass. Now let me go and give me my book. Naruto said, hey, as he put the book back in the kunai pouch and dropped it on Kakashi's stomach, then made a half ram seal with his hand. The wood that was holding Kakashi became loose and fell back into the ground. This let Kakashi sit up. Well, you would have passed anyway, Kakashi said as he stood up and fastened his kunai pouch again. The point of this test was to see if you could figure out what it meant behind the scenes. Hinata mumbled, is there a hidden meaning? Sasuke crossed his arms and hummed. You put the three of us against you and against each other. We couldn't get a bell by ourselves, so we had to work together. So self-sacrifice? Kakashi nodded and said, that's right. The hidden answer to this test is teamwork. I wanted to see if you could work as a team, and I wanted to see if one of you would be willing to die for the others. That didn't go exactly as planned, but you got the idea. Duties are done by the team. Individual strength is important to a ninja, but teamwork is more important. Kakashi had a big smile on his face as he looked at his three genin. Naruto and Sasuke, even though you were best friends, you didn't leave Hinata behind to get the bells for yourselves. That shows you have character, compassion, and honor. You will be risking your lives in these duties. If a hostage is taken, you will have to make hard decisions, and you may not always make the right one. Kakashi sighed and motioned for them to follow him as he walked over to where the poles were. Behind them was a big stone with hundreds of names carved into it. Look at the many names carved into this stone. These are the names of ninjas who are known as heroes in the village, Kakashi said softly as he looked at the stone. But they're not ordinary heroes. Naruto muttered, why do I have the feeling you're about to say something sad? Kakashi said, these ninjas are all heroes who died on the job. This is a memorial. My best friend's name is also carved here. You guys are the first team I've ever passed. Everyone else would just do what I told them to do. They were all idiots who only thought about themselves and what I told them to do. A ninja must see underneath the underneath. Those who break the rules and codes of the ninja world are called trash, but you know what? Those who don't take care of their comrades are lower than. TCH, Sasuke muttered. Just when I thought I knew you, you say something really cool like that. Kakashi gave them a big smile and a thumbs up. That's the end of the training. You all passed. Okay, Team 7 will start doing its jobs tomorrow. Alright. Naruto said with a big smile and a pump of his fist. This is where my climb to the top begins. Madam Shijimi, the wife of the fire daimyo, yelled, ah, my sweet Tora-chan. I've missed you so much. As she hugged her cat tight in the mission's office, even though the cat looked like it was going to choke to death. I was so worried about you, my little baby. Naruto muttered, it's no wonder it ran away. He had 3 cuts on the bridge of his nose and many more on his hands. Sasuke had 3 on his cheek, 3 on his neck, and almost as many on his hands as Naruto. So would I. Hinata said softly, kind of makes you feel bad about it, but she had no scratches on her. Now, Kakashi's Team 7, the Sandaime said as he looked at the papers in front of him, your next job is to watch an elder's grandson, go shopping in the village next door, and help dig potatoes you can also. Naruto said, I'm going to stop you right there, Gigi. Everyone, except his team, just stared at him in shock because he had the nerve to talk to the Hokage. You and I both know that this team is stronger than any Genin team you have, so we shouldn't be doing this nonsense. Sasuke crossed his arms and said, I agree. I think this is an awful waste of time and money. Since they had graduated, all they had done was D-rank missions, along with team training, coming up with plans, and putting them together. Iruka barked at them as she sat next to the Sandaime, who had just sighed. You're just starting out. Everyone starts with simple tasks and works their way up. Naruto snapped back. I don't give a crap. We're not everyone. We get these stupid missions that I wouldn't even make academy students do. This isn't ninja work. Kakashi suddenly hit Naruto on the head with his fist, and the Junin said, "Quiet, you. Naruto-kun, it looks like I'll have to tell you what these responsibilities are all about," the Sandaime said as he took a puff from his pipe. "Every day, listen." Naruto said with his arms crossed, "People ask us to do everything from babysitting to killing. We rank the missions and blah, blah, blah. But you said that Genin get both D and C ranked missions. I know we just graduated from the academy, but you and I both know that we can handle a C rank, right, Sasuke and Hinata?" I believe that, Kakashi muttered, "I'm sorry," and scratched the back of his head in shame. The Sandaime, on the other hand, looked deep in thought and hummed as he smoked his pipe. He put his fingers together in front of his face and gave a smirk. The Sandaime said, "Very well. If you want it that much, I'll give you a C rank, and we'll see how you do. It's a mission to protect a certain person," which surprised Kakashi and Hinata, while Naruto and Sasuke laughed. "Let me now tell you about the client. Hey, will you come in here?" When the door to the mission office opened, an old man with scars on his hands showed up. He must have been a carpenter or something like that. He had a bottle of sake in his hand, and as he looked at them, he took a sip. The man, who was drunk, said, "What's this? They're all a bunch of super brats. The girl, in particular, doesn't look like she could hurt a fly. Are you really a ninja?" Hinata jumped and put her head down. Naruto and Sasuke stepped in to defend her when they saw she wasn't going to say anything. They gave him a heated look. "Could kill you 5 times over before you could even blink, you old fart," Sasuke said coldly. Naruto looked at Kakashi. "Can I show him, Sensei? If we kill the person we're supposed to protect, we'll fail the mission," Kakashi said simply, but Naruto didn't have to show him. The fact that the old man didn't even flinch shows that they got their point across. He had to cough into his hand. "Anyway, Tazuna, I'm the person who built the super bridge, so I expect you to give me super protection until I get back to my country and finish the bridge." So, Naruto, Sasuke, and Hinata walked toward the East Konoha gate later, with everything they needed. Naruto and Sasuke had everything in a scroll each, and Naruto had put Hinata's pack in another scroll so she didn't have to carry anything. As they walked, Sasuke said, "This is a C rank, so the worst thing we could face are bandits. However, I want none of you to let down your guard. Keep your senses sharp for anything out of the norm. Hinata." Hinata jumped when she heard her name, and she answered quickly, "Why yes? As we travel to Wave Country, I want you to turn on your Byakugan every so often and check out the area." "But alright, Naruto." Naruto asked with a raised eyebrow. "I don't want you to get lazy and stop molding chakra. I want you to sense the whole time. Your sensing ability is the best I've ever seen, and it doesn't use up more chakra than it takes for you to regenerate, so you can't complain about that. Don't give up, keep sensing." Yeah, tch, you've become a captain or something. You're getting ahead of yourself, Sasuke-kun, aren't you? "The Hokage is the village leader, and I need to train," Sasuke said simply, making Naruto twitch. "Yeah, right. I'm going to be the Hokage. Hey, maybe in your dreams." "Why you?" Hinata whispered, I think you both have a good chance of becoming Hokage." The two Genin stopped staring at each other and turned their heads to look at her. Hinata looked a little surprised by all the attention, but she took a deep breath and went on. "Even though you're both young, you're both so strong, and you each have your own set of unique leadership skills. Sasuke-kun, I think Naruto-kun has just as good a chance as you do to become Hokage as you do." Hinata ducked her head when she was done talking, as if she thought Sasuke would not like what she had just said. So, he probably surprised her when all he did was give a soft, amused laugh. He crossed his arms and said, "Of course. After all, he wouldn't deserve to be my rival if he couldn't keep up with me." "But thank you, Hinata, for your kind words," Naruto said with a smile as he put his arm around her shoulders. "Seriously, though, don't you think we need to do something about your shyness?" I'm not shy," Hinata mumbled as Naruto touched her, making her face turn bright red. Ah, you're going to try to convince me that fish can fly, too?" Naruto asked, still grinning widely. He gave her a thumbs-up signal. "Don't worry, though. Stick with us, and in a couple of weeks, you'll either be a happy-go-lucky jokester like me or a cool, brooding type like Sasuke. Go with the jokester path, though." "Hey, are you saying I'm annoying?" Sasuke asked with a slight glare. "Oh, no, not at all, Sasuke-kun. It's funny, though, that you would think that right away." Why, you, Hinata softly laughed at what they were doing, which made Naruto smile even bigger. They met Kakashi and Tazuna at the gate, and then they all went to Wave Country. As Sasuke had suggested, Naruto started shaping chakra and spreading out his senses as soon as they left Konoha. It was a good thing he did, because he immediately picked up 2 chakra sources in the trees to their left. He gave Sasuke a quick look, and he caught his eye. They had known each other for a long time and could now tell what the other was trying to say just by looking into their eyes. Sasuke's eyes got a little narrower, and he gave a small, almost imperceptible nod before walking over to Hinata. "Don't use your Byakugan, Hinata," he said in a whisper so quiet that not even Kakashi could hear them. "We have a tail, and we don't want to scare them." "Understood," Hinata replied in a whisper. Sasuke was surprised to see her act so serious, which was not at all like her shy self. No, he did see that she was the same, but that was because she made herself do it. She gave Tazuna a look. "You Tazuna-san? What? Are you from Wave Country? What do you think? Do you have a ninja village?" Kakashi replied, "No, not in Wave Country. Most other countries have them, but Wave Country is too small. But don't worry, there won't be any ninja fighting in a C-rank mission." As they walked past a puddle in the road, Sasuke put chakra in his eyes. He then turned to look at Naruto, who gave him a nod. They kept walking, with Kakashi in the back. Suddenly, a ninja with a horned Kiri headband and a chain with blades attached to his clawed gauntlets flew over Kakashi. As the chain tightened around the Junin, he landed between Kakashi and the Genin and Tazuna. Behind Kakashi was another Kiri ninja with the same gauntlet on his hand. The chain was attached to the gauntlet. When the 2 ninja both said, "One down," and pulled the chain, Kakashi said, "What?" Kakashi was torn apart by the chain, which made Tazuna and Hinata look shocked. Sasuke looked at her with the Sharingan burning in his eyes. He had 1 tomo in his left hand and 2 in his right. He told Hinata to protect Tazuna, but Naruto was already flashing through hand seals. Doden. Doryuden Earth Element. Earth Dragon Projectile. Naruto shouted as a dragon head made of earth rose from the ground and turned to one of the Kiri ninja, opening its mouth and spitting high-speed mud projectiles at him. The ninja jumped, and Sasuke flashed through seals at the same time. He shouted, "Katen! Gukakyu no Jutsu!" and threw a huge ball of fire at the other ninja. The other ninja dodged, pulling the chain between them and pulling him out of the way of the mud balls. The fireball engulfed the chain, instantly melting it and separating the 2 ninja, who split off, circling around Naruto and Sasuke in order to head for Tazuna, which caused Hinata to stand protectively in front of him. Doden. Doryu Heki, Earth Element, Earth-style Wall. Naruto called out after flashing through another chain of seals, slamming his hands down on the ground. One of the ninja, who was coming at Tazuna from behind, suddenly found himself stopped rather abruptly as he ran straight into the earth wall that shot up in front of him. As soon as Naruto's head hit the wall, he made a snake seal with his hand. Naruto shouted, "Mokaton! Sashiki no Jutsu, Wood Element. Cutting Technique," as a blade made of wood grew out of his hand. He spun and flung the blade at the dazed Kiri ninja, piercing him in the shoulder. Naruto said with glee, "Gotcha," as he put his hand in a half-ram seal and focused his chakra. Sodatsu, grow. The Kiri ninja's eyes grew wide when the wood inside his body suddenly grew 5 thick spikes that grew out and pierced many of his vital organs as they came out of his body in a shower of blood. Naruto's eyes got bigger when he saw that jutsu hit a real person. He had only practiced on straw practice dummies up until now, so much blood was there. When Naruto heard Kakashi say, "Well done, Naruto," he looked toward Tazuna and saw that Sasuke had moved to protect Hinata and that Kakashi was standing in front of him with a headlock on the other Kiri ninja, who was out cold. "You guys reacted much better than I would have believed." Kakashi started to turn to Tazuna, but he stopped and looked at Naruto. The blonde's hands were shaky, so he looked away. Well, it was bound to happen. It was his first kill, Kakashi thought, softening his gaze. But to do it at such a young age, I'll need to talk to him about it later. Kakashi looked very serious at Tazuna when he turned to him. "Tazuna-san." Tazuna clearly jumped back. "Why yes? I have something to tell you." The Kiri ninja was tied to a tree quickly, and from the way he was staring at Naruto, it was clear that he was awake. "This guy is a Chunin rank ninja. He is one of the demon brothers of Kirigakure no Sato, who are known for always fighting." The demon brother asked Kakashi, "How did you figure out how we were moving?" Not even your Genin were taken by surprise. It shouldn't rain on a sunny day like this when it hasn't rained in days, Kakashi said in a simple way. Also, Naruto is a very good censor. He probably knew you were following us as soon as you did, and he told his teammates. Why did you let the brats fight when you knew that? Tazuna asked. If I had wanted to, I could have killed these two instantly, but there was something I needed to find out who the target was for these two. What do you mean? Tazuna asked. What do you mean, were they after you or one of us? We haven't heard that ninjas are after you. Our job was just to protect you from thieves or gangs, Kakashi said, giving Tazuna a hard look. This has now become at least a B-rank mission. This was supposed to be simple protection until you completed the bridge. Tazuna was quiet, and a sweat drop was visibly rolling down his temple. If it was known that ninja were after you, this mission would have been a very expensive B rank. I'm sure you have a reason, but when you lie about the details of a mission, it makes things hard for us because we are no longer doing our job. Are we ready for this type of mission? Hinata asked, gulping. I suppose that, at this point, it would be customary for us to abandon the mission, Kakashi said slowly, nodding more to himself than to the others. Sensei, Tazuna said out of the blue, drawing Kakashi's attention. I have to talk to you. It's about this mission. You're right. This job is most likely outside of your duties. It turns out that a super dangerous man is after my life. Super dangerous man? Kakashi asked again, raising the one eyebrow that could be seen. Who? You've probably at least heard his name before, Tazuna said quietly. Gato is the name of the wealthy shipping magnate. Huh? Gato from that Gato company? Kakashi asked, his eyes widening in surprise. He is said to be one of the few very wealthy people in the world. Yes, Tazuna nodded. Officially, he runs a big shipping company. But in secret, he sells drugs and other illegal items. He's a really bad guy. About a year ago, he set his sights on the Wave country. With money and violence, he quickly took control of the country's shipping industry. Gato now has a monopoly on all business traffic in the country. The only thing he has to worry about now is the completion of the bridge. Hinata said, and since you're building the bridge to the mainland, he'll no longer have a monopoly. Tazuna nodded. So, Gato hired those ninja, is what Sasuke asked, and Tazuna said yes. But Kakashi didn't understand why. If you knew that ninja could be after you, you didn't tell us that when you hired us. Tazuna groaned. The Wave country is very poor. Even the daimyo doesn't have any money. We don't have much money either, not enough for the expensive B-rank mission. Well, if you quit the mission now, I will definitely die, but don't worry about it. Tazuna said with a big smile. If I die, my cute 10-year-old grandson will only cry for a few days. Also, my daughter will hate Konoha Ninja for the rest of her life, but it won't be your fault at all. Not at all. When he heard that, Kakashi jerked and scratched the plate on his Hita 8. Then he sighed and smiled at Tazuna, saying, well, I guess we don't have a choice. We'll protect you, at least until you get back to your country. Tazuna smiled and thanked them all very much, but everyone could see that he felt like he had won. They started walking, with Kakashi leading, Hinata and Tazuna in the middle, and Naruto and Sasuke at the back. Hey, Sasuke whispered as he looked at Naruto's hands, you are trembling. I guess I'm still a little shocked, Naruto said, taking deep breaths. It's not like I've killed a man before, she said. It was either you or him, Sasuke just said. Don't be hard on yourself. Well, I know that, but it seems like my body doesn't want to listen. Shuddering isn't good, especially now that we know our enemies are going to attack. Naruto said with a small grin, give me a minute and I'll be fine. The group was able to reach Wave country without running into any more enemies. But Naruto, Sasuke, and Hinata were always on the lookout and had sharp senses. Like Naruto said, he was no longer shaking and was ready for anything. As they walked, Naruto said, if we're attacked again, it'll probably be a Chunin since the two Chunin were defeated. Kakashi nodded. Without a doubt. Naruto perked up, and in a flash he fished out a kunai, hurling it into a bush, making the others jump, save for Kakashi, who must have sensed it as well. Naruto? Sasuke asked. Tense. Naruto said, TCH, Kawarimi, huh. As he lowered his hand, he closed his eyes and stretched out his body. Get down, everyone. Kakashi yelled suddenly, ducking down just as Naruto noticed someone was there. Naruto grabbed Hinata and fell to the ground, while Tazuna was thrown to the ground by Sasuke. A huge sword came flying through the air and went through the space where the Genin's necks would have been. It then got stuck in a tree, and a ninja landed on the Zanbatu's handle. The man was dressed in striped pants, camouflage-patterned arm and leg warmers, and bandages on the bottom half of his face. Tied sideways to his head was a Kiri Hitai 8. Well, Kakashi uttered as they all got to their feet. Momochi Zabuza-kun, if it's not the Kirigakure missing nin, it can't be. Sasuke called out, Naruto, and Naruto narrowed his eyes. Be careful, guys. This guy has as much chakra as I do, and it's dark, very dark, and strong, Naruto said in a low voice. Hinata made a few hand seals and then said, Byakugan. As her dojutsu kicked in, she could see veins around her eyes, and when she looked at Zabuza, her eyes got bigger. Right, he's this chakra is. Sasuke, curious, activated his Sharingan and looked at Zabuza, his eyes widening as well. No, it's only a little, but his chakra stores are larger than yours, Naruto. Ho! Zabuza said as he turned around and faced them. He got down on his knees and put his elbows on them as he crouched down to watch them. With the Sharingan, the Byakugan, and Sharingan no Kakashi, it's no wonder the Demon Brothers lost. Sorry, but the old man is mine. Naruto and Sasuke both said, Sharingan, in shock as Kakashi reached for his headband. Surround Tazuna and keep her safe, Kakashi said. Don't fight. This is a team effort. Zabuza, first, Kakashi slowly lifted his headband to show a scar through his left eye. And in it a Sharingan, battle me. Ah, I already get to see the famous Sharingan. I'm honored, Zabuza said, smirking behind his bandages. When I was in the Kirigakure Anbu, I kept a handbook with information about you. It said, the man who has copied over 1,000 jutsu is copy ninja Kakashi. Oi, Sasuke, Naruto muttered. I thought the Sharingan was passed down through the Uchiha family. Why in the hell does he have it? I have no idea, Sasuke said, his own Sharingan eyes narrowing, but I plan to figure it out. Stop talking, said Zabuza as he reached down and grabbed the handle of the sword he was standing on. I have to kill that old man, Tazuna said, and the three Genin moved to stand around him to protect him. But Kakashi, it seems I have to beat you first. Zabuza kicked himself off the tree and flew toward the lake in front of them, where he landed. He let out a lot of chakra, which made the water start to swirl around him. Zabuza muttered, Ninpo. Kirigakure no Jutsu, ninja art. Hidden mist technique, as a thick fog rolled in and made him disappear. Kakashi said, he'll come after me first. Momochi Zabuza as a Kiri ninja, he was known as a master of silent killing. You don't even know you're dead until it's too late. It's not like I can use the Sharingan perfectly. Be careful, guys. The mist suddenly got even thicker, and Zabuza's voice could be heard coming from everywhere. I have 8 options. The larynx, the spine, the lungs, the liver, the jugular, the subclavian artery, the kidneys, and the heart. Which one should I choose? Both Kakashi and Zabuza rushed into the area with the intention of killing. Naruto could feel every muscle in his body tightening up, and he couldn't help but shiver a little. He turned his head to look at Hinata and saw that her Byakugan was fading and that her whole body was shaking. She was also clearly scared because she was sweating. Naruto suddenly said, Hinata, which got her attention. He smiled when she looked at him. Stay strong. This is what he wants, so keep your guard up. Sasuke. Kakashi spoke suddenly, and Naruto turned his head to see that Sasuke had been shaking as well. Don't worry. I'll protect you guys with my life, their sensei said as he turned his head to smile at them. I don't let my comrades die. Zabuza's voice came from between Tazuna and the Genin. It said, we'll see about that. It's finished. But Zabuza wasn't quick enough. Sasuke's Chakudo came out of its sheath in an instant, and Naruto had never seen him move so fast. Zabuza's head was suddenly cut off from his body when the blade flashed. His eyes were wide. The body and head, on the other hand, exploded into a shower of water, and Naruto's eyes grew wide when he felt Zabuza's chakra. Sensei, behind you, he yelled, but it was too late. Kakashi had already been cut in half by Zabuza's huge sword. Only for Kakashi's body to also break up into water, and another Kakashi with a kunai around his neck to appear behind Zabuza. Don't move, Kakashi ordered, it's finished. Naruto thought, TCH, and clenched his teeth. This damn mist is covered in his chakra. He thought, I can hardly even feel Kakashi through it, then looked at Hinata. Oi, Hinata, can you see anything? No. Naruto-kun, there's too much chakra in the air. Same here, Sasuke muttered. Then, when Zabuza talked to Kakashi, his eyes got bigger. Sensei, behind you. The Zabuza in front of Kakashi turned into water as another one appeared behind him. This made Kakashi's eyes widen. He moved out of the way of a swinging sword, but Zabuza didn't even stop when his sword dug into the ground. Instead, he spun, switching his grip, and booted Kakashi in the face, sending him flying through the air. Zabuza immediately pulled his sword out of the ground and ran off, jumping toward the spot where Kakashi splashed into the water. As Kakashi surfaced, Zabuza landed behind him and flashed through hand seals. Suiro no Jutsu, he shouted as the water shot up and formed a ball around Kakashi. Zabuza put his hand in the ball to keep it going. You tried to escape to the water. Big mistake. Now I have you in an inescapable prison, Zabuza said, chuckling. It's harder if you can't move, he said as he made a half ram seal with his hand. Now, Kakashi, we can finish things later. First, I'll take care of them. A Mizu Bunshin came up out of the water and walked onto the shore with a soft laugh. Behind his bandages, the clone said, You're wearing those Hitai 8 and acting like ninja. A real ninja is someone who has had many close calls with death. You can't call yourselves ninja until you're good enough to be in my handbook. Until then, you're just brats. Take Tazuna-san and run. Kakashi yelled suddenly. You can't beat him. As long as he keeps me locked up in this prison, he can't move. The Mizu Bunshin can't go very far from his real body. Run away now. Naruto slowly turned his head to look at Sasuke, who smiled and nodded. Then he looked at Hinata. She took a deep breath, but she didn't let it show. Run away? TCH, Kakashi-sensei, you don't think enough of us, Naruto said with a smile. A Mizu Bunshin has only 1/10 of the power of the original. Do you think we are that weak? Besides, it's up to you to win this fight, Sasuke said. If we run away now, Zabuza will just kill you, then pick us off one by one at his leisure. Besides, those who abandon their comrades are even worse than trash, right? Tazuna-san, Naruto said, ignoring Kakashi's wide-eyed look and instead looking at the old man, who sighed. Well, I planted this seed. I'm not going to say I want to live so much that I'd stop you. Sorry, guys. Fight as much as you want. The clone of Zabuza, on the other hand, just started laughing and grinning a little. You guys will never grow up if you keep playing ninja, huh? When I was your age, these hands were already stained with blood. So? Naruto asked with a brow raised. What, you're a ninja? No, you're just a psychopath killer, you browless freak. He shouted, pointing his finger at Zabuza. Don't talk as if you know us. Talking trash is for when the battle is over. Sasuke, Combo 27. Right. Said Sasuke as they both began to flash through hand seals. Naruto ended with a snake seal, and a wooden pole shot out of the ground in front of Sasuke. It went past the clone of Zabuza and then curved around him, trying to wrap around him. The clone, despite the shock at seeing a Mokuton jutsu used, leapt into the air to avoid it, which was a big mistake, as the wood shot upward and wrapped around him, trapping him, just as Sasuke finished his hand seals. Naruto Sasuke Kanbi Jutsu, Naruto Sasuke Combo Technique Smiley Face. They both announced, Naruto grinning and Sasuke blowing a stream of flame at the wood, which shot up along it to encase the entire wooden pole in the Zabuza clone in flames, yakiniku, grilled meat. The fire was so hot that when the clone died, the water turned into steam and rose into the air instead of falling to the ground. Ho! Said the real Zabuza with a smile. Mokuton ninjutsu, eh? That was unexpected. However, he put his hand in another half ram seal, and 10 more Mizu Bunshin rose from the water, walking onto the shore. Naruto asked his friend, Sasuke, you can do it, right? Sasuke knew right away what he meant and nodded, taking out his Chikudo again. Good, I'll make a way for you. Go. Sasuke ran toward the clones, who had all drawn their swords and were getting ready to attack. Spikes of wood that shot up from the ground made them move, but Sasuke was able to get through without getting hurt. He shot toward the real Zabuza, cocking his arm back, then swung. Zabuza dodged under the swing, but Sasuke wasn't done. He turned and threw a kunai at Zabuza's head, which made him move out of the way and free his hand from the water prison. The clones, seeing this, made to go after Sasuke, but that provided enough of a distraction for Naruto to focus his chakra into the ground and cause more wooden spikes to shoot out of it, impaling and destroying the clones. Zabuza yelled at Sasuke, "You brat." He reached up to grab the sword on Sasuke's back, but Kakashi's sandal hit him in the face and knocked him back. "I'm your opponent," Kakashi said, his Sharingan narrowing in a dangerous way. Zabuza jumped on the water and landed in a crouch before standing up. "Hey, I got sidetracked and let the jutsu go," he said. "Wrong," Kakashi said. He said, "You were forced to give it up," which made Zabuza move. "Good job, Naruto and Sasuke. But don't worry, I'll take it from here." Zabuza looked like he was gritting his teeth as Sasuke nodded and sheathed his Chikudo, running past Kakashi and back to Naruto, Hinata, and Tazuna, whereupon he gave Naruto a high five. "I'll tell you now, I don't fall for the same jutsu twice," Kakashi said, staring calmly at Zabuza. "What are you going to do now?" Zabuza said, "TCH, and jumped back. Then he started a long chain of seals, which Kakashi copied perfectly. Sweden. Suiryuden no Jutsu, Water Element. Water Dragon Projectile Technique. They shouted in perfect unison as two dragons formed out of the water between them and charged at each other, crashing into each other and exploding. That many seals, and he copied them perfectly, Naruto muttered as the water washed up onto the shore and crashed into them. He looked over to Sasuke. "Can that be done?" "Not at this stage of the Sharingan, no," Sasuke said, shaking his head as he saw the two Genin clash right underneath where the two water dragons had crashed into each other, Kakashi blocking Zabuza's sword with a kunai. Zabuza narrowed his eyes as he looked into the Sharingan and thought, "Strange, what's happening?" He pushed off and jumped back, and Kakashi did the exact same thing. He tried to circle him, but Kakashi stopped him and raised his hands to do the Kirigakure Jutsu. Zabuza thought, "My moves," as he lowered one hand, and Kakashi did the same. He is totally reading them. Kakashi finished his line of thought, making his eyes widen. "What? Did he get into my head?" Zabuza thought this as he felt sweat on his forehead and made a seal with his hands. "Damn. That freaky eye really irritates me, right?" Zabuza had a twitch. "Hey, you're just copying me." Both Kakashi and Zabuza said at the same time, "You can't beat me, you stupid monkey." This made Zabuza's eyes really widen. Zabuza growled, "Damn you. I'll make it so you can never open your mouth again." He flashed through hand seals. He stopped, however, amazed, as he saw himself form behind Kakashi. That's me. That can't happen. Is this one of his genjutsu?" Kakashi, to his surprise, finished the chain of seals Zabuza had been doing. He then shouted, "Sweden. Daibakufu no Jutsu, Water Element. Grand Waterfall Technique," as his Sharingan started to spin. The water in front of him came to life and rose up, rushing at Zabuza. Zabuza roared as the water hit him and threw him through many trees. "I am the one doing the jutsu, yet I can't keep up." He thought this in a panic right before he was washed into a tree and then had kunai stabbed through his arms and legs. When Kakashi's voice came from above and said, "It's over," he looked up and saw Kakashi sitting on a tree branch. Zabuza asked, still in shock, "How? Can you see the future?" "Yeah, your future is death," Kakashi proclaimed, raising a kunai. Before he could use it, however, two senbon needles came flying out of nowhere and pierced Zabuza's neck. Zabuza's eyes were wide as he fell to the ground, and everyone looked up to another tree to see a kid around the Genin's age wearing a mask that looked almost like an Anbu mask because it had the Kiri markings on the forehead. The boy said, "Hee hee, you're right. He's dead," in a very feminine voice that matched his feminine body. Naruto asked out loud, with his usual tact, "Who's the gender-confused mask boy?" Kakashi jumped down to Zabuza's body and checked his pulse. The ninja in a mask bowed and said, "Thank you very much. I've been looking for a long time for a chance to kill Zabuza." "That mask," Kakashi said, looking up at him. "You're a Kiri hunter nin." Hinata said, "Hunter nin," over and over again, looking to her teammates for help. Sasuke said, "Hunter nin are a special part of Anbu. Their job is to find and kill missing nin tch, to get a rank like that at that age." Naruto asked with a smile, "There are some great ninja out there, huh? It'd be nice to fight him." The hunter nin jumped down and picked up Zabuza by putting his arm over his shoulder. He put his hand in a half-ram seal and said, "Your battle is over, and I must get rid of this body because it seems to hold many secrets. Farewell." The wind started blowing around him so fast that it was howling, and then he and Zabuza's body were gone in the blink of an eye. Kakashi let out a sigh of relief and pulled his headband down to cover his Sharingan. Sasuke and Hinata also turned off their own eyes. Kakashi told his genin, "Now we have to get Tazuna-san home. Let's go." "Ha ha ha. Super thanks, guys," Tazuna said brightly. "Come over to my house and relax for a while." Just as he said that, Kakashi suddenly froze and tipped forward, unable to move. "Ah, I was wondering when that would happen," Naruto said as he crouched down in front of Kakashi. He wasn't surprised. "Your chakra stores are lower than mine, and you're using a transplanted eye. That should drain you pretty quickly, right? Sasuke, give me a hand here." "Why? Are you too weak to carry him? Close your mouth and lend me a hand, hey."
I will continue the story in next part. Till then, we weeb offline.